Hi, I'm Steve Wernick, Rabbi Wernick, one of the rabbis of Bet Tzedek congregation in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I'm happy to be with you today to share with you my favorite section of the Haggadah, which occurs at the very beginning. It's the story of the five rabbis, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Tarfon, who are up all night studying the intricacies of the Haggadah, that their students have to come to them in the morning and say, Rabbeinu, Higia Zman Kriyat Shema Shel Shachrit. The time has come to say the morning Shema as part of the Shachrit service. Now, why is it these rabbis did not know what time it was? If they were in Bnei Brak, if they were in a house, if they were sitting down, lying down, reclining, celebrating the Haggadah, certainly when the light came in, they would have noticed. That's why some say that these rabbis were not in Bnei Brak at all, but rather they were in the caves, perhaps at the area of Beit Guvrin, where today archaeological seminars operates, like the cave I'm in now, which is a picture of a cave from Beit Guvrin. And what they were doing there was not really talking about the Haggadah as we have it, but instead they were planning the rebellion of Bar Kokhba against the Romans. Rabbi Akiva, after all, thought that Bar Kokhba was the Messiah and gave him his name. His hope was that Bar Kokhba would rally the Israelites and they would defeat Rome and reestablish Israelite sovereignty within Eretz Israel. Now, why tell that story through the imagery of the Exodus? Because just as God redeemed our people from the original slavery, from the original oppression of Pharaoh in Egypt, so too did the rabbis hope that God would redeem Bnei Israel from the Romans. It's brilliant, in fact, right? The reason, behold, door by door, the reason every generation we have to tell ourselves that we were slaves from Egypt was to remind us that we have the potential, both with God and our own abilities, to free ourselves from whatever slavery, from whatever oppression is hurting us at this particular moment. That's why we tell this story in this way. And that's why also perhaps Moses doesn't appear in the Haggadah at all. Because if Moses appeared in the Haggadah, then the story would always be specifically about Egypt. Now, when I was in Beit Guvrin, one of the many times that I went and I took people, I managed to find this really large pottery shard. Clearly part of a large vase that perhaps held wheat or barley or some other produce for the Israelites. And it was in the trash pile, of course, but I got lucky. I found something really big rather than the little tiny pottery shards that we normally find. And every year when it comes to Seder, I take out that pottery shard and I tell this story about the rabbis who were hiding and who were planning how they free themselves from their Mitzrayim, from their narrow place. Now today, our narrow place, of course, is the coronavirus. And we are stuck in our homes. If we're fortunate enough to have a home, if we're fortunate enough to be able to have the resources to navigate this pandemic. Of course, we reach out and provide as much help as we can to people that are less fortunate. And we are thankful and give thanks to God for everything that is ours. May we next year be able to meet not only in Jerusalem for Seder, but even more importantly, to have our tables overflowing with families and friends and community. May this be the last year of our Mitzrayim, of our narrow place, of lockdown and isolation, and sometimes loneliness. And may we be privileged to celebrate next year, wherever we are, next year with family, friends, with community. Chag Sameach.